This is All Peacemakers Needed video series, where two everyday people discuss the need for peacemakers.
Okay. Hello. Today we have Janet with us. She is one of our stellar peacemakers, and I'm excited to learn more about her and introduce her and just learn more about what makes Janet tick as a peacemaker. So, Janet, could you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Thanks for having me today. It's nice to be able to talk with you. I am a mother and a grandmother. I've been married for 42 years. I love to run. I love to spend time with my family. That's probably my most favorite thing is spending time with my family and just when everybody's happy and laughing together, I find is the best. I love the sunshine, to be outside. I love to bake cookies on a Sunday afternoon. I love to read. Um, I, I love people. I I love life. So that's just a little bit about me.
I can see that all the time. You loving life, and you're definitely a connector. You're always connecting people and just reaching out to people, and that's just you through and
Oh,
through.
thank you. That's sweet of you to say.
Um,
I think the same of
so
you, by the way.
you're very kind. So, quick story about Janet. We're actually living in Puerto Rico for a few months, and her daughter came to visit in Puerto Rico. And so it was so fun to get to see Janet's daughter when we're in a place we don't know anyone yet and we're kind of missing home. And then there's Janet's daughter. It was a piece of home.
My name is Janet Haight, and I'm striving to be a peacemaker.
Yes. So, Janet, you are a very busy person. You have a lot on your plate. Why did you want to get involved in this peacekeepers group, this peacemakers group?
Well, I guess I first just kind of want to describe what peacemaking is to me. When that would kind of talk about it, the why, to get into the why.
Sure.
Um, so peacemaking to me is actively trying to bring people together in conflict situations or any kind of volatile situation, disagreements, finding a way to respectfully, with kindness, find a way to come together to help resolve those conflicts. Um, where versus just trying to keep the peace, which I think I've been more of a person most of my life. I really have wanted to keep the peace, but that's a lot of times avoiding conflict altogether, So if I see a conflict situation, ooh, I will back out. And I think that kind of stemmed from, when I was young, growing up, there were some adults around me that um, did a lot of screaming and shouting and arguing, and it was a scary situation for me, where I would hear that kind of thing and I would hide under the covers because, I'd just go in my room and hide, and it was scary, and I think. Then as I came into adulthood, I just had in me, I just I didn't like the conflict situations. I didn't like the arguing, and I just wanted peace. And but in more recent years, as I'm looking at the world around me and watching the news and a lot on social media, just seeing people that I know and love and that I'll see things that are posted that are um, kind of hurtful and hateful, and then I start feeling inside myself, anger and thinking thoughts that don't bring me peace. And so, I've begun to feel helpless, just thinking that, the world is going in a crazy direction and I don't have any control over making a difference. And, as I, was talking with some different friends about this, some of you that are already here all of you in the All Peacemakers Needed group, movement, I should say. Um, just the talk had, came up about seeking to be peacemakers. And as I really kind of dove into that more, what is a peacemaker? It gave me hope, thinking I can actually do something, to help bring peace, even if it's just starting with myself and just analyzing myself and my feelings. And, kind of reflecting on love, how love, I think, is the most powerful force in the universe. And so thinking if we combined trying to be a peacemaker with love at its core, meaning, we take a look at maybe those we disagree with or situations we disagree with, but we approach it with respect and we listen to try to understand, where somebody else is coming from, and then try to see, I feel like if you approach things with love and not anger, but just, seeking to understand, that you can come up with solutions and resolutions that we just never would even dream is possible. But when we approach things with anger and blaming and thinking, oh, the other group or other person or whoever is different are just wrong, we're not going to get anywhere. So I guess that's a roundabout way to say that's why that I have wanted to get involved in this movement towards peacemaking. It is very empowering, as just anytime I start feeling frustrated now, I'll just step back and think, okay, is that being a peacemaker, even thinking this way? And it just helps me kind of just reassess myself and, kind of refocus, I guess, onto a better way. And I just personally, it's just already just bringing me personal peace. And then I hope to be able to share that with others. So that's kind of the way.
That's very powerful. That is very powerful. We're very grateful for your time today and everything you already do for peacemaking. Do you have any sort of invite for others of how they can be peacemakers in their lives?
So, thank you, Bonnie. It's just been a pleasure talking with you today. And I would like to just invite any who are interested, any who are watching, to join us in this movement in seeking to be peacemakers, starting with yourself, starting, every day. I'm trying to start with myself, my day off, in, trying to find peace within myself, trying to listen to those around me, especially, those who maybe have different opinions, different views, to try and seek to understand their why and to listen with respect and love, in seeking to find, just to be kind and seeking to find common ground with all those around us, with our family, with our friends, with those who we work with, and the world beyond. Mahatma Gandhi once said, "In a gentle way, you can shake the world." And so I guess my closing thought is that peacemaking with love can shake the world for good. And that is my invitation, that we will all, try to shake the world for good. So thank you.
Thank you, Janet.